Okay, thank you, everyone. So just to be respectful of everyone's time, we'll go ahead and get started. So my name is Alicia, and I'm a counselor here at the Enrollment Center. And tonight's presentation will be on your main round options. But just in case some of you may have to leave early, or if you have a friend that wasn't able to attend, I'm going to put my email address as well as a link to my calendar. So that way, if you need to make an appointment, or if you have further questions that you don't feel comfortable asking in such a large group, feel free to email or make an appointment with me directly, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. We do have other lovely representatives from the Enrollment Center with us. We have Lauren Kohler as well as Michelle Fukuda with us today. So feel free, again, if you have any questions, to go ahead and either message me directly or put it in the chat. And I also have included a link to the slides. So if you would like to follow along that way, you can go ahead and do that. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so as I said, we're going to be discussing tonight the main round assignments for the 2024-2025 school year. Our mission statement is that every day we provide each and every student the quality instruction and equitable support required to thrive in the 21st century. So our agenda very briefly tonight, we'll go over enrollment updates, the main round assignment results, assignment options, getting support, and my favorite part, your questions. So we know that you have a lot of questions. We asked just because it is such a big group, if you could please put some of them in the chat, or if you could wait until the end of the presentation, then we can do a question and answer part. But it's just I can't stop the presentation to answer questions and come back just to keep some order. So thank you so much for your patience and understanding with that. This is an important slide, so if you're able to screenshot this, this is where you can find enrollment updates and also resources. So if you would like to use the internet and see our website, we have sfusd.edu/enroll. You can come to either one of our offices down at Central Office or as well as our Bayview office that's open on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or by calling us or emailing. So just a little highlight of the applications that we received. So this main round, we received over 14,000 applications from our TK through 12th grade for the main round assignment cycle. So this is the part that you guys are probably wondering, okay, well, how many actually got their choice? How many actually just didn't get anything at all on their list? So this is just a quick synopsis to show more than 83% of our applicants actually did receive one of their top three choices. So 62% overall received their first choice. So just to break it down for those of you who maybe have turned your application in for transitional grades. So this will show you how much received a choice for transitional TK with kindergarten as well as 6th grade and 9th grade. And if you would like more highlights and more details to this data, please feel free to visit our website. We have our website at sfusd.edu/highlights. So from there, you may wonder, okay, that's all well and good, but how come not all of the students just got the choice that they entered? How come everyone didn't just get their first choice? Well, this is just a quick breakdown to show you when there's more demand than there is supply or more choices than there are seats, we're not able to assign everyone to their number one choice. So for instance, with Lawton, they had 757 applications for 65 seats. So unfortunately, we did have to deny about 700 students from going to that school. With AP Giannini, about 1,500 applications for 400 seats. Again, just not everyone was able to fit. And Lincoln this year, we had to deny almost 2,000 students from attending that school just because there wasn't enough space. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea about why we weren't able just to give everyone their number one choice. So from here, we know that some students were not assigned to a preferred school. As we said earlier, this is very stressful, but we thank you for joining us tonight because you do have options, and that's what we will be going over this evening. So the first thing you can do is to accept or decline your assignment by April the 5th. Now, this is very important because you need to read your assignment letter very carefully and take proper action. Some of you have seen that you received a letter that said no further action is necessary. You've automatically been accepted to your school. Others may have received a letter that said you must accept or decline. So please read your letter because they are personalized for you and your family. So that way you don't miss this very important step of accepting or declining your assignment. Now, some of you, as we said earlier, may have not gotten the school that you wanted and you're very upset. This is another slide I would definitely screenshot because it is a little long, but it is a parent's perspective to let you know that for her third grader, she was applying, sorry, excuse me, her student's in third grade now, but when she was applying for kindergarten, Juniper, that school wasn't even on their radar. She may have felt the way you feel tonight. She was devastated when they got the assignment letter because it was their ninth pick to even go to that school. But she did give it a chance and at least went to go give it a tour. And as it says here, that she was grateful that she did that because actually the school turned out to be sort of a hidden gem for her. And that it's a school where her son wants to be dropped off early and to stay late. So this is something that we are sharing with families tonight because we know that it is very disappointing when you didn't get your top choice, but that you never know. You may have been assigned to a hidden gem that you didn't know about. So just to give you some options. So we are right here at the main round assignment letter. You received it this week. And so you definitely need to accept or decline by April 5th. Now we do have some optional resources that you could do here. So let's say you maybe got your number 3 choice. You know, you're happy with it. It could work for you and your family. We suggest that you go ahead and accept your assignment. And then if you would like to, you can participate in round 2. So the round 2 applications are due by April the 19th. So if that's the case, you can go back into the lottery and you can list the more schools that you're looking for above what you have. Also, if you feel that you have a very unique circumstance, so your circumstance doesn't boil down to the school is convenient or they have a program or you went to that school and you would like to submit an appeal, you can. But mostly the application you'll want to fill out will be for round 2. So if you have questions about the appeals process or things like that, please feel free. For those of you who may have came later, I'll re-put my email and a link to my calendar in the chat when we're done with the presentation and we can talk about it. But either way, if you decide to turn in a round 2 application and appeal, you will receive your assignment letter the week of May the 27th. So we just want to be clear that if you decide to decline your assignment or you just don't respond to us at all, we will not save your seat at that assigned school. And as the caption reads here, there are many fewer seats available in round 2. So we strongly recommend that if your main round assignment could work for you, please go ahead and accept it before taking any other action. So this is a good another screen I would go ahead and screenshot so you could refer to it later of your options. So basically just a detailed slide here of what we just discussed. If you decide that you would like to accept or decline, please do so by April the 5th. You can do this online through your parent view, or you can email or drop off that response form that you received in the mail. And just know, just in case, because I know when the assignment letters came out on Monday, some of you may have been confused or just decided to decline the school. But if after this workshop you think, well, you know what, maybe we should accept and take a look at the school and see what we could do, you can go back into your parent view or you can let us know that you've changed your mind and you decided to accept. But we need to know your final decision by April the 5th. With round 2, same thing. You can go ahead and turn in the application online, or you can email or drop off the paper edition of it. And if you would like to change or cancel your round 2 application, you can do so by April the 19th. And you will be notified the week of May the 27th. Again, same with appeals, April 19th, and you will also be notified the week of May the 27th. So just to be very clear, if you are assigned to a school in round two, your round two choice will replace your main round assignment. So please only apply for schools that you prefer more than your current assignment. So in the example I gave earlier, if you were assigned to your third choice, but you really would prefer your first or second choice, you would only want to list those two choices above because it's above the one that you have. If you are assigned there, you cannot call us and say, hey, I actually wanted to keep my first round assignment. Can you give it back to me? Because we will most likely have gone ahead and assigned someone else to the seat that you had. So please be sure before making any decision of which schools you want to apply for round two, that you do very thorough research to make sure that these are the schools that you're listing that you want more than what you have. So we recommend with you deciding if you're going to accept or decline, that if you intend to attend any SFUSD school in fall of 2024, to go ahead and accept your main round assignment. So again, like I said in the previous slide, if you don't accept the assignment, then we're not going to hold the space for you. And also that because there are fewer seats, some families are less likely to get a more school that they prefer than they had in the main round. Something I do want to make very clear here is that if you decline your main round assignment, it in no way benefits families in future rounds. So we're not going to see that you didn't have a school because you declined your main round and just give you something that you wanted. So please, before declining, reach out to me, reach out to any of the enrollment center staff and just discuss, how you're feeling and if you need some guidance on whether to accept or decline your school. Also, if you know that your family will not be coming to SFUSD, then go ahead. You can decline the seat so that way someone else can have it. But like we said earlier, it's a strong recommendation that if you know you're going to go to SFUSD for the fall, then go ahead and accept your main round assignment. So how to accept? We went over this. Just be sure that you use one of these options and you do so by April the 5th. So some final points, just to remember that the deadline to accept or decline is April 5th. Also to turn in your round two application if you decide to do so. Please do so by April the 19th. Your accept or decline form can be submitted online, in person, or in our Dropbox that's located at 555 Franklin Street. And whether you choose to accept or decline your school assignment, you can apply for round two. Also, please remember that if you do apply for round two, that is automatically going to replace your main round assignment, even if you accepted the assignment. So please, please, please only apply for schools that you prefer more than what you've already accepted. And if you do apply for round two and you don't receive a choice school, meaning you don't receive anything that's on your list, you will not be designated or given a non-choice assignment. So some people are scared about that, well, if I go back into round two and I don't get what I want, then you're just going to assign me to another school that I didn't have on my list. That will not happen if this is your second time applying with round two. Also, if you want to change or cancel your round two application, please do so by emailing us at enrollinschool@sfusd.edu. So from here, we're going to answer your questions, but before I do so, another slide that I'm going to ask for you to screenshot would be this one. So you can find more information and more details at our website at sfusd.edu/enroll. And also, just like that prospective parent had mentioned before that she went on a tour of the school just to get an idea about it, you can also do the same thing by visiting sfusd.edu/tours. So if you have questions about that, again, anyone from the Enrollment Center, we're ready, willing, and able to answer your questions regarding tours and enrollment and the process. So feel free to either come to our office, give us a phone call, or send us an email. So from there, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can see your lovely faces. And I am going to, again, put my information in the chat. So if you do have to leave, or if you know someone who has further questions, please feel free to send me an email, or to go ahead and put yourself on my calendar and we can have an appointment. But if you do have questions you would like to ask, please feel free to raise your hand, or your little electronic hand here, and we'll be happy to answer. I think we have one here. One second. Okay, so we'll go with Rachel since you have your hand raised.
I think I just was the only one who knew how to raise my hand. So my daughter didn't get an assignment because my husband didn't submit the proof of birth date. So I emailed to find out if you have it now, because he says he submitted it. But my question is, did we just like not get an assignment for first round and we just like missed out on the chance of getting any of our first choices? Or was it we given an assignment, we just didn't get the letter and we'll get it now?
That's it. So you received
Okay.
an assignment, you just didn't receive the letter. So if you would like to email me directly, then I'll go ahead and look and see and get your letter to you.
Okay, cool. I emailed you already. Yeah, it just her brother already goes to a school and we're just sort of desperate to get her in the same school for obvious reasons.
Absolutely, no problem. Thank you for your
Thank
question.
you.
There, before I go to the next one, there was someone that was trying to unmute. I think it was it Stephen? I just want to see Stephen, if you're still there. Okay.
Yes, I'm here. Question. So my son was accepted into a high school, and it says no further action is needed on the letter.
Perfect.
We'll automatically enroll your child, but he's actually really wanting to go to a different high school. So I'm assuming we don't need to accept or decline, but we can just enter round two. And if we don't get our round two choice, we get what was in the acceptance letter?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to double check on that because there's a lot about accepting and declining, but we're already we can just go into round two, but if we don't get that choice, you'll still get his current enrollment.
Yep. You got it. That's perfectly it.
Okay.
That's why I said all these letters
Okay.
are individual for each family. So yes, yours said you don't need to do anything, so you can just go straight to round two.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
No problem. Have a good evening. Okay, Lily?
Can you tell me what you're doing Wednesday? Sorry, next Wednesday.
You're still muted. There you go.
Okay, sorry. So I got a letter from my daughter, and it's asking me to accept by or decline by April 5th. So this is actually our fourth choice, and we would like to do round two. And so we would accept this just in case, but I guess my question is we only want to put two schools. So let's say if we do not get those two schools assigned, will we lose our spot on round one, or do we automatically get our round one choice since we would accept the assignment?
You will keep your round one choice. So yeah, if you don't get anything from round two and you already accepted your main round, then you're okay. You'll just stay at your main round school.
And there's no minimum of how many schools I can put. I can put like 2 or 3 or whatever.
Yes, you can put as many in round two, but please just make sure it's something you want more than what you already have.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Have a good evening.
Mhm.
Matthew?
Thanks. That was my question, if there was a minimum amount in round two. So I think that's answered. There is no minimum.
Right. Excellent. Yep. No minimum. Excellent. iPhone 6.
Sorry, I unmuted. I think you muted me. Hi, my name is Monica. I have a similar situation. You kind of discussed it. My son's in an SDC class, and of course, we all have to deal with the lottery system. But I feel with SDC, we have like a smaller sliver of the pie.
Yeah.
And I 6 tours. I visited all the schools, and I was only going to put 3, but I put a 4th school on my list, and unfortunately, I got the 4th one. all the schools that I chose are in the Richmond district because I researched, I did all my research because I can't afford a private school and I know they don't offer support for IEPs or SDC classes in private. So I'm a strong believer of the public system. I'm actually a SFUSD clerk as well. But I'm concerned because all the schools that I have that were selected were in the Richmond. The only one that I wanted as my number one was 5 minutes from my house. And that was my number one choice. And I got the number 4 choice. So my concern is I'm gonna have to drive like 30 to 45 minutes to pick him up and another 30, 45 to come home. So, and I strongly want him to participate in after school programs, which is a really important factor for him because of the social emotional needs that he has. Was that something that I need to bring up to an appeal if I put if I don't get in the second round, I don't get the school that I want? Like I got Hoover, but I want Aptis. So if right now, if I request Aptis on the second round, I'm going to lose Hoover. And Hoover is the second closest school to me. And I'm okay with Hoover, but now I'm like thrown off with the whole knowing that I'm going to lose what was given to me in the first round if I can't get the second round. Should I only put the request for Aptis and I'll be able to keep Hoover? Or if I put my request for Aptis in the second round, I still can lose Hoover and not get Aptis. So I'm just a little confused just because it's so hard because of the SDC. I'm very limited to the schools. So I'm just a little freaked out.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your experience. And I'm sorry that it didn't work out exactly the way you were looking for. Something I do want to make clear, just in case I wasn't in the slides, if you go ahead and accept your main round choice, regardless if it's special education or if you're in general education, if you accept your main round and you apply for round 2, you will not lose your main round assignment if we do not get you in to your round 2. So I do want to be clear about that.
Scenario, if we have to do that step, though, that's why it's so important. We have to accept and follow the personalized request on the letter per our student. So I had to accept Hoover and then request a second round for Aptis and cross my fingers. Either way, if I'm content with Hoover, I at least know I won't lose both of them.
Exactly. Exactly.
Lovely. And then let's say I don't get Aptis, that's where I could appeal.
So I think that we should maybe talk offline about, specifically with the appeal. Also, we have Michelle Fukuda, who is our special education counselor. So we can definitely, talk about what's the best option for you and your family. So yeah, again, let me put my information back into the chat. So that way we can set up a time and then just make sure you're comfortable with what you're putting for round 2.
Thank you, Alicia. I appreciate it.
No problem. Absolutely. Okay, Sahar.
Yes, hello. So we applied for 6 schools and didn't get into any of them. So I guess we're the 7%, the unlucky 7% that may have got that. The school we got assigned to, I have high probability that we will not want to go to that school. We would explore other options outside of SFUSD. In that case, we do have high hopes for round 2. We're going to cast the net much broader. I think in round 2, it still sounds like we should accept the school, even though there's very little probability that we'll go to it, and then just see where we land with round 2, because it sounds like there's no benefit to declining and then applying for the round 2, if that's even possible. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're not going to go with this option that we were assigned.
So if it's between a pretty sure we're not going and a definitely we're not, then yeah, you can go ahead and accept and decline it a little bit later. But if it's something, like you live in one area over here and it's like an hour's commute or an hour and a half on the bus and it's just not realistic, okay, that's something that's just not going to work. You can choose from then if you want to accept or decline. But if it's something like if you look at the route and it's maybe 10 minutes out of the way, 15 minutes out of the way, I wouldn't just decline that right away since you do have 2 more weeks. I would maybe try the route, see if it's something you could do, because what ends up happening is during summer and the closer we get to school, all of those schools end up filling up. And then we only have schools available on extreme sides of the city. And it's like some people will come back and say, well, my main round, I got something that was maybe 10 minutes out of the way. But now I only see schools that are available that are 30 minutes out of the way. So just, I know, especially a couple of days after receiving the letter, it's kind of like this devastating emotional thing of this. We did everything right. Why didn't we get what we wanted? So I wouldn't just decline it right away. But if it's a, pretty sure we're going to decline, just kind of drive by it and see. If after you do that, you say it's not going to work, go ahead and decline. But just don't give up on it. If it's pretty sure we're not 100%, just give it a chance.
But as far as the round 2 application, it would be the same regardless of whether you accept or decline.
Yeah, you still do it. Yeah. So if you decline it, we'll give your seat to someone else. If you accept and then decline later, you can do that as well. And nothing has to be decided yet until April.
Yeah, and when does the assigned area option come into effect, I guess is my question.
You mean zone schools?
Is that yeah.
I'm sorry, it muted. What was
that? So do you know if the assigned area school comes into effect or it becomes a factor in your school selection and the waitlist option or round 2, or was that already considered in round 1?
Oh, I see what you're saying. The attendance area tiebreaker.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, you'll continue to have that through the wait pool. Yeah, it'll still be there.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Did you guys have any other questions?
No, you've been really helpful. Thank you so much.
No problem. My pleasure. Okay, just in case for anyone else that's come on, I see we had a few join. If I'm not able to get to your question, I have put my information in the chat. You can email me directly or go ahead and make an appointment with me and we can talk about your questions. iPhone 13 Pro Max, please. Try it again. iPhone 13 Pro Max, you still there? There you go.
Hi. Quick question. I accepted my first choice already. That was my choice I was assigned. I was wondering how I can verify that on ParentVue to make sure that it's there, because when I go into ParentVue, it still just say central enrollment. It doesn't say what school he's assigned.
Yes, so it will say central enrollment because we're still in our current school year, our 23-24 school year. So during summertime, it will roll over and then you'll see the 24-25 school year. And then right under your student's name, it will populate with the school if you have accepted.
Okay. Second questions. In the news, they were talking about closure up to like 10 schools. So let's say, hypothetically, that happens like between this process, what would happen to the students? Did they get reassigned again?
That's an excellent question that I'm just gonna be completely honest. I don't personally have the answer to. Lauren, I'm not sure if you're still on, if you have an answer to that or if we want to talk about it more offline.
Yeah, so that hasn't been determined yet. They're thinking about doing welcoming schools or letting people do the lottery, but again, no action has been taken and most likely won't be until September.
Okay.
Thank you. Perfect. And we have Alex Knox, please.
Hi, Alicia. My question was for the acceptance letters for high school. We applied to SOTA, and I know there's a supplementary application process for that with auditions. Is a SOTA available for round 2 if we did not get accepted on the first round?
Unfortunately, it's not. Or is that one now, Lauren? Yes.
Yes, they're going to post on their website. So take a look at the SOTA website and you can call the school and ask them, but they're going to do a second round of auditions. So there will be spaces in round 2 this year.
Okay, thank you. But I just to be clear though, there is no clear, you did not get accepted or anything like that, and it just showed our next choice? Is that just how it works with the application process for Lowell and SOTA? Or is there something that clearly says, sorry, but you didn't get in?
I think you would need to ask the school that question. They don't give us the full list of kids who passed the audition. They just give us up to the number that they want us to assign. So if they have like 20 kids that passed the audition, but 18 spaces, then they give us 18 names.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Excellent question. I'm glad you asked, so I didn't give wrong information here in front of 100 people. So thank you, Lauren, and thank you, Alex. Okay, Cindy.
Hi there. Thanks so much for hosting this workshop. And that's been incredibly helpful. We have 3 questions, if you don't mind us going through it.
Yep, go ahead.
First question is, based on historical data, what are the chances of us getting into one of the choices in round 2? And I only ask because we listed 15 schools in round 1 and got into none of them. And so I just wanted to know, what are the chances that for TK? What are the chances for round 2?
That's an excellent question. I posted my information. If we can set an appointment and we can go over the data that we had historically, I think it would be better to see. But just as a general, there are fewer seats in round 2 because, as you see, we're very much promoting asking people to accept their school assignment and try it out first before just declining. But it doesn't mean that there's not any seats at all, in other schools. So even though you did list the 15, let's just take a look so that way I can see your child's case, what schools you listed, and then we can go through and see exactly, how many seats there were, how many were assigned, and have a better viewpoint.
Yeah, we'll definitely make an appointment then to go through the list to make it hopefully more probable for us to get an assignment in round 2.
Yeah.
The second question that I have is, what is the difference between a round 2 and a wait list? I've been seeing chatter about, oh, there's still going to be a wait list during the summertime. And I'm wondering, what does that mean?
So just because we are discussing the main round options, I don't too much like to discuss the wait pool and wait list and things like that, just because information get confused because it is 2 different process. So for anyone here who would like further detail about it, please feel free to visit our website, or you can message me and I'll go over further details just in case someone comes in late. I don't want them to think that's the process we're in right now, and it's not. I just want to focus on round 2 if possible.
That's totally fair. I get that. My husband is going to ask the question now.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi. Yeah. So, I think I've read that there were schools that announced that they were going to offer TK for the 2024-25 year after the submission deadline for round 1. If there are more schools that happen to offer TK later on in this process, is there a process to apply to those, or yeah, what can we do about that if we prefer that over our currently assigned school?
You can definitely list it in round 2 if it becomes available and you see it on the list. So that way we know you're interested, and then we'll go ahead and look for seats for your student at that school.
So can I actually add on to this question, if you don't mind?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry to take up so much of the time. But a lot of those TKs weren't part of the original list. There were quite a few TKs that were on the original list who then decided not to have TK due to whatever various reasons. And then there were some schools that added TK on the list after the submission was due already. Would there be even more schools that will add TK later on, or?
I'm going to defer that to Lauren.
Yeah, let me answer that question. So I think the only one we took off the list was Lawton, because they have a facilities problem that needs to be fixed before that classroom is appropriate for TK. And we added Mira Loma. And that's because we had 1,300 applicants and we need 1,300 seats to put all of the kiddos in. So I'm not expecting that we add more TK spaces, but I could be wrong if in round 2 we get 1,300 more applications for TK. If we do that, we'll put a note on our website. We decided about Mira Loma literally 2 days before we did assignments, but hopefully we will be able to make the round 2 decision a little bit more quickly.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I think that's all of our questions. Thank you again.
Thank you, Sydney, and your family. And thank you, Lauren. Okay, Regina.
Hi, thanks for taking my question. I just want to make sure that
understand the process for round two. My daughter was not accepted in our choices, and we're assigned to a school that we are totally not interested in. But it seems like the advice is to accept the assignment and then apply for round two. Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, again, if it's something that you're not interested versus it's just impossible to do, is kind of two different things. So our suggestion is, since there are 2 weeks or so before you need to actually accept the school, if it's something that you may have just, for your own personal reasons, if you're not interested in it, to do some research and just kind of see about the school first before declining it would be the best bet. But then after that, if you just look and it's just not going to work for you and your family at all, you can release the seat so someone else can have it. So I wouldn't make that decision today. I would do some research if it's just something you weren't interested in versus it's just impossible to do.
Okay. Once we do our research and we still are not interested in this particular school and we decide to decline,
yeah.
I guess, what are the chances of my daughter having a seat for this coming fall for high school?
So what you could do is if you go ahead and decline and go into round two, you may receive a letter that we're sorry we weren't able to offer you a school. And at this point, your student is without a school. We do have other enrollment process, so you can try for the wait pool and for open enrollment. And if you want more details about that, it's not a problem. Just go ahead and email me directly or set an appointment on my calendar and I can go over the details of how that works. But there are other processes you can do to make sure your student starts school on time in August.
Okay. And what are the chances? I mean, say we do go on the wait pool, will she be assigned a school if we don't want her to miss a full academic year?
Yes. So again, I can't say because I need to know kind of which school, what are you looking for, the odds. But when it comes down to the lottery system itself, it's just really hard for me to say, oh yeah, you're good, you'll get it, versus, how to actually go into round two and how to actually participate in the wait pool and open enrollment. So I can definitely look at some data and show you historically what's happened in the past. But as far as, guaranteeing what's going to happen for the 24-25 school year, it's really almost impossible for me to say.
Okay. Well, then I'll send you a message in regards to receiving more information about the wait pool too.
Sounds good. I look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Perfect. Jodie?
Hello, good evening, everyone, and thank you for making the time for us today. A couple of questions we have. So one is to better understand the tiebreakers when it comes to, I guess it could be round one or round two in general. So we got our third choice, and the first two options that we put in our list were Spanish immersion tracks. However, we missed the time window for the language test. So we still want to do round two with our two other choices. But I'm just trying to understand how much of an advantage we would have if she tests well in the language test because we are native speakers. How could that take over the tiebreaker for proximity or school? What is the term? School assigned area, right? So I heard before from people who are familiar with the system that for Spanish immersion track schools or applications, they are not connected to proximity or like assigned area as such, and that they apply globally to the district. So I just wanted to first better understand that, to understand the chances that we have in round two to get into schools that are outside our assigned area, even if my daughter tests really well in the language test, if that makes sense.
Thank you. Yes, no, it does. Lauren, I just want to make sure with this one that the immersion programs are considered citywide schools, even if they're at an attendance area school. Okay. I think
yes, that's right.
Okay, just want to make sure. Thank you. So yes, you are correct that with the immersion program, since it is considered a citywide school, we're not going to consider your address of where you live unless you live in what's called a low test score area. So that's parts of Mission, Treasure Island, parts of Bayview, parts of Sunnydale. And if you want to see if your address falls in there, we can provide a link for that. But as far as if you would like to have your student tested as a native speaker, or if you want to leave it as non-native, it's really good to look at the data for this school year. If I don't know, Michelle or Lauren, if you're able to put the link for the enrollment highlights on there, thank you. If you go to our enrollment highlights, if you would like to take a look there to see how many families applied as a native speaker versus how many families applied as non-native, I think that would help you to make a decision if you would like to have your student go ahead and take the Spanish test, or if you would like to just stay as a non-native speaker.
Do you have any follow-ups on that? Because then, so we would be able to assess it with the current seats available, basically. But we would still, the results of the test would take priority over assigned area, correct?
So there really isn't an assigned area.
Yeah,
so when you look at the tiebreakers, I know like for instance, let's say Alvarado, they have an attendance area part of it for the general education portion of their school, but for the immersion portion, there's not an attendance area. It's considered a citywide part. So, you know, you want to make sure that you are looking at the enrollment highlights just to see, okay, if it was Alvarado and they had 100 something families apply as non-native, but maybe they only had 50 apply as native, you know, how you would like to do that. And if you have further questions about it and you want to go into detail about it, go ahead and you can either contact the enrollment center, or if you would like to schedule a time to speak, then we can talk about it.
That's great, because we still are satisfied with option 3. So, but we would only want to risk it if we feel that we have a high chance of getting into the other 2 choices, if you see what I mean.
Yes. So if you definitely know you want your first or second, you can go ahead and list it. It's not a problem. But as far as if you should take the test to be considered native or non-native, then you can go ahead and we can talk about that offline.
Okay. And a quick follow-up on the TK that someone else raised. Like, we weren't aware that Miraloma, for example, had added TK sort of like last minute. I think it's clear that it wouldn't happen for any other schools during this school year, and it could only happen potentially for 2025, right? That's the only time when we would know if there are schools adding TK to their tracks.
You mean like our regular updates of it, of those who are adding it each year?
Yeah. Like, how will we learn?
So the plan is, yes, the next one would be for the 25, 26, it'll be a next set. But, you know, we have to see. So like Lauren was saying, if you visit our website or sign up for our updates, then you'll be able to see if we've added any before then.
Okay. And there's no way to know which ones are being considered, I imagine, right?
I'm going to say no, unless Lauren has something different to say about that one.
Sorry, what was the question?
We don't know if there's any other TKs that will be added for 24-25, or we're done for 24-25.
I think we're done for 24-25. Most of the TK classrooms that we're going to open for 25-26 need facilities modifications to be added.
Okay, so it will be later on, we'll be doing that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Have a good evening.
You too.
Okay. And then Fong?
I have a question. So if I receive a letter that says that your child is automatic enrolled in the school, do you know when will the school contact me in regarding the enrollment?
Hopefully this week before spring break, and then it might be after. But if you would like to sign up for a tour or, you know, have more information from that school, if you visit our sfusd.edu/tours, you can actually go ahead and schedule yourself to be on the tour to see the school and ask any questions you may have.
So it should be sometime this week, right?
Hopefully this week, but I can't guarantee that for all of our schools just because spring break is happening next week. So
okay.
This one, it might be after that.
And then another question I have is in regarding about the health requirement. Is there a deadline to submitting that health requirement?
There is, and I believe if they go to sfusd.edu/health requirements, Michelle or Lauren, they should be able to see the time that that's due.
Oh, I haven't been to that website. Let me look.
see if it's a real website. I might just have came up with that because it sounds good. But yes, we can get that information for you. Just give us a second. It may not have an exact date just yet, but we'll find at least the website. You can look for updates for that.
And then where can I get the form for that besides online?
Like a physical copy?
Yeah, physical copy.
You can come to 555 Franklin Street.
Do you think the school also have that form?
Yeah, they should. They should, yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's all my question. Thank you.
Perfect. And I think we have a link now to the, was I right? It was, okay, good. So yeah, the link, if you're looking for the health form and requirements, you can click the link that's in the chat.
And it would tell me the deadline.
I haven't clicked it yet, but check it out. If it doesn't, raise your hand and we'll see.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Claire.
Hello, this is her husband, Lance.
Hi.
Hi. Here. There we go.
There we go.
Perfect.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you, Alicia. We are like another parent. We applied to 10 schools, didn't get in any of them. And what we're wondering about is we applied to 10 schools in Inner Richmond, an area where we're moving to. We haven't moved yet, and we're wondering, the school that we were given is close to where we are now, which is across town, and really will not be feasible for us. If we decline this current school, does that give us any kind of an advantage, or is there any way of demonstrating that we will be in the attendance area for the next round so that we don't get put at a disadvantage again?
When do you plan on moving?
It's going to be somewhere between probably July and August.
July and August. Okay. So it's not going to give you any advantage by declining it. And unfortunately, our system isn't, smart enough to know, oh, they're moving or whatever. You have to have moved. So we need the lease, or we need utility bill, proof of address that you have physically moved into the new place. So once that happens, depending on which round we're in, we can then give you the priority to the attendance area school.
But not until.
Yeah, but if you would still like to apply for it, which I do suggest, just in case there are some open seats for round 2 for it, go ahead and apply to those schools that are in the area that you'll be living. But, the school that you're assigned to now, before declining it, again, look to see if you do pass it on the way, or if there's any other thing you're doing over there. If it's not going to work, or you're definitely moving and that's over, then go ahead. But I highly suggest for families who haven't moved yet, not to decline until you've actually moved, just in case plans fall through. So that's just something I would like to give as a disclaimer to everyone, and hopefully it helps your family too.
We're not going to be able to, but okay.
Okay, perfect. Did you have any other questions for me?
No.
No? Okay, well, thank you both for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Vera?
Hi, actually, it's my wife's phone. Right.
No.
Hi. My son, which he really wanted to go to Laurel and Lincoln, if possible, because it's in the neighborhood, and he was thrown out to Balboa High, which is a little bit further than our place. In second round, that's what he's planning actually to apply for those school. Can we do the same thing like Laurel and Lincoln High?
You can apply for Lincoln, but Lowell is not available for round 2, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. It's only Lincoln then.
Yeah.
So
out of the 2 you mentioned, yeah, it would be Lincoln.
only Lincoln. Okay. So in that, and if we don't get Lincoln, if we go for round 3, we still can apply for Lincoln?
Yeah, you can continue to apply for Lincoln.
Lincoln.
And then if you still decide that you would like to apply for Lowell, you can apply for 10th grade for when she's ready to go to 10th grade.
Oh, okay. In 10th grade, he can apply for 10th grade.
Yes.
And that's a different procedure or same
procedure? Yeah, different procedure, different timing. So if you go to our website and sign up for the updates, enrollment updates, then you'll be able to know, but you can also reach out closer to that time. So if you're thinking next year, around May or so, go ahead and reach out to us, and we can see what we can do to help you to apply.
Great. Thank you. That's all.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Have a good
Thank you,
evening.
Alicia. You too.
Okay. Lydia? Sorry, Lydia, are you there? Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
hi. Sorry, I was totally. I got. So my question is regarding the language test. Does she have to take it prior to being accepted in one of the I forget what it's called, like the
Immersion schools.
immersion tracks type
Yeah.
thing?
So it's not if your student, speaks the language already, then we highly suggest go ahead and take the test. But if you know they don't speak it, at all, you just want them to learn the language, then it's not required. Kind of on the fence about it.
No, that doesn't answer my question. So I know like she has to pass it in order to be like, so this is for Hoover.
Okay.
Right? So it's not immersion. It's something else, right? What's it called?
So Hoover does have an immersion track there. I'm sorry, I thought you were speaking about
It is
elementary school. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So for Hoover, which school is she attending right now? In which program?
She's at Mary Loma.
Okay, so she's in the general education program.
Yeah.
Okay, then yes, she would need to take a test if she
Uh-huh.
wants to do 6th grade at Hoover for their immersion program.
Yeah. So when does the test have to occur, I guess is my question. Does it have to occur, like can I put Hoover on my list and we can get it, or
So
is the test, you have to take the test and then we have to,
yeah,
you know what I'm
it's
saying?
still going to be a lottery for it, but when you turn in your round 2 application, then I'd suggest you reaching out to us so that way we can schedule you for a test for round 2.
Okay.
But first, your application has to be in. That's one of the requirements. So you want to apply for it, go ahead to your application and we'll set her up to take the test and then go over options with you after the test is done.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know. I got the letter for the first round and we just didn't get around to it. But it wasn't, did that mean that like that was excluded because we never took the test?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Okay.
for 6, you definitely have to take it.
No, I know, but I didn't know if you could because I thought that you could get into it and then take the test. No, you can't.
No, if it's for kinder and first, then we have non-native seats for those who are looking to learn the language. But from 2nd on up, we need the students to actually speak it at that point.
Right. I had another question. What was my other question? I was looking at, because one of the things I think when I first started, I don't know if there's many people left in the thing, but like when you go to the school's website and you go, I think it's in like the school, I don't have one up right now, but like it's like the school info, and then like I think it's like enrollment data, and then it's like something like it gives like some percentage, right? Like is
like
that
enrollment demographics?
Yeah, like no, it's giving you, sure if I can get, so like let me just pull up Hoover so I can tell you exactly where it is. So it's like saying like 21%. I think it's telling you how many people of the people who apply are accepted. Is that at all correct? So you can see like how popular the school is what I'm asking.
I'm gonna ask Lauren or Michelle if you guys can see the part she's talking about on the school web page.
Can you ask the question again? Sorry.
Okay, so when you go to the school website, it has something there on the school demographics about the acceptance rate, I thought it was called.
Which school website are you looking at?
Well, I was looking at Hoover, so let me, Try to find it again. I can't find it now that I'm under the gun. It was about.
You can email us and we'll look for it. But go ahead. Sorry.
I just was trying to find if that was just in general the acceptance rate for the if that gives you a, because I got to, like, I was looking at them to see if that was in general, like the school we got, it said 100%. And then the schools we were like, I was trying to get, it was like 21%, 30%. So I was thinking that was the percentage of people who apply as opposed to like the people who actually get into that. Is that?
I think you're talking about the one that Jessica put the example of, the general education entry grade seats per application, 7%.
Yeah, I could talk about this one.
Thank you.
So this is it's probably 2 years old because I think that's when our team put it up there. But what this is like, say there are 7 seats at New Traditions and 100 people applied, then there's 7% of seats for the applications, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
At New Traditions, there's actually 44. So multiply 44 by, I don't know, 100 divided by 7. I'll give you the number that you're looking for.
Okay.
So it's like 44 times 15 applied for kindergarten there. So I don't know. I think like that's not the acceptance rate. It's just the popularity, which is much easier to understand if you look on our website at the highlights.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because it does help just to know like of what your chances are when you're looking to see.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
When you're
The
going.
more information, the better.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, did you have any other questions for us?
No. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Okay. Betty.
Hi, thank you for somebody who just bring up Lowell and like enrollment things. So I know that my daughter is like the band one, like she fulfilled the point, the score, but she did not get picked on Lowell. So does that mean that we cannot apply for round 2? That's what you told us that. But for the 10th grade, when we apply for it, do we base on our score for the 8th grade, like the 8th grade scored to go apply for the 10th, or how does that work?
It will be based on the 9th grade grades.
Okay. So is that like a form that we can look at, like the fulfillment that we can look up?
Yes, I believe it may have gone into the chat earlier. So that's for this year of for Lowell 10th through 12th information. Maybe if we could put that one back in, would be great. Thank you. And then if you just want to take a look at it, so but please be sure that you get the updated information that we have for the year you're applying for, which will be next year.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
One more question is like my son is like he is in Lawton, but we want to transfer him out. But now he was saying that it's going to be continue with the current school with Lawton. So does that mean that I don't have to do anything, that he will stay in Lawton right now, right?
He'll stay at Lawton. Right.
Okay, then that's fine. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening. I think it's I'm going to say Raj. I'm going to ask you to unmute. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hello.
Hi.
So my question is regarding TK. So we have got our first assignment and I'm going to accept it. So my question is, what would be the next step? So the acceptance from my side means the automatic acceptance of the child, or we have to wait for the separate acceptance from the school? How it goes?
So if you know you want to keep the school that you have, go ahead and accept it. That's the only action you need to take. And then that lets us and the school know that that's going to be your school for next year. And then at that point, if you would like to take a tour of the school and receive more information, you can visit our website at sfusd.edu/tours to sign up. And that way you can physically go on campus and see it.
Okay, so we don't have to wait for the acceptance from the school.
That the letter you received is basically the acceptance from the school.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay.
And we're right at 7 o'clock. Perfect. So if there are any other questions that you guys have that unfortunately we didn't get to, I want to thank first Michelle and Lauren for manning the chat so well and for keeping an ear out to help me so I'm not giving out bad information. So thank you so much for both of you guys and everyone who came tonight. Thank you for staying the whole hour. So please, if you do have any other questions, don't feel left out. Don't feel confused. We're here to help. So again, I will put my information one more time in the chat. So feel free to send me an email or make an appointment with my calendar and get yourself on my calendar. So that way you don't feel confused in this process. And we thank you so much and have a wonderful evening.